Hello, my friends. My name is DadCraft73, and welcome to the start of a brand new season of One Man, One Mod, the series where we take a major content mod and try to learn everything that we possibly can about it through a series of videos. This season, we're going to be focused on the Create mod, and I cannot be more excited. I have been wanting to mess around with Create for quite a while, and it seems like now is the perfect time to do that. We're going to talk about the mod pack and what sort of the mod pack isn't. But before we do any of that stuff, we definitely have to start getting all of our tools. We need to punch a tree. We need to do a little bit of mining. We got to create some tools and then see if we can't scout around and find an awesome place to start our base. While we're doing some of this, I guess we could chit chat a little bit about what this mod pack is not. First of all, it's a custom mod pack developed by me. It's got 50 mods in it exactly. There are some quality of life mods. There's also some create like add-on mods that are here as well, such as steams and rails and create additions and some other odds and ends that we're going to make it kind of fun for us to play along. We've also got some quality of life mods. We've got storage drawers for storage. We've got a couple tools for some builders. We've got fast leaf decay. We've got gravestone is in here. Journey map as well. But things that we do not have is we do not have backpacks. We do not have like sleeping bags. We don't have weird terrain generation. We don't have random animals running all around to attack us. We don't have any of that stuff. It's a very lightweight and easy to load mod pack. Restarts really quickly on servers, and it runs with very low resources. So even someone who maybe doesn't have a super high-end computer will still be able to play this mod pack and learn a little bit about Create, which I think is super cool. That's for sure. Anyway, we've got 50 mods. If you want to have some of the details around what's in the mod pack, you can check it out in the description box down below. Nothing too exciting or out of control. It's very create focused, as we've just said, and that's what we're going for. I also, in the creation of this mod pack, have created a bunch of very custom quests that kind of walk us through the initial phases of what we need to do with Create. We've got like I'm new around here. We're going to be mining some andesite and getting some other odds and ends. If you are a seasoned Create player, you will find a lot of these quests very, very simple and very, very straightforward. If you're brand new to Create, this is where you want to start for sure. Then we've got gaining knowledge and skill, which broadens us out into some more of the other aspects of Create. Started getting to contraptions and motive power and things like that, which is pretty awesome. We've got the Copper Age, which is a series of quests all around copper and the things you make with copper. We've got a brass quest line that starts with us going to the nether, creating things like blaze burners and grinding wheels and jetpacks and things like that. And then finally, we have a final chapter which has some quests about some of the add-ons that are in part of this mod pack as well, such things like create resource mining. We've also got the electricity related create mod in here. We've got create confectionery. We've also got the create jetpack, and we've got diesel generators, just because that kind of stuff is fun, and we'll be able to step through some of that stuff together. We're going to cover all of those quests together, you and me. Don't worry, we're going to be in good shape there. This is the mod pack that is going to be running on my modded patron server for the month of December. We may move into January as well. We'll see how fast people sort of work through this. When we're doing this as a series, it's going to be something that's going to take a while, but people who might play a bunch of hours every day might go through this mod pack pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens from a patron server, but this is the mod pack that's going to be on my modded patron server. If you want more details about how to become a patron and get access to that server and play along, there's information in the description box down below about that as well. I think that this is literally exactly what I'm looking for as far as a base. I think we should make a boat and sail across the sea and see what is over there on the other side of this little island, because I think this is probably exactly where I want to make my base. I don't know what that is over there, but we're going to go check it out. It's like, I was thinking I wanted sort of something by the ocean, and that looks like maybe like a peninsula or something. Let's go over and check and see exactly what that is before we get too crazy about saying that this is our forever home. There's also some coal around there, which we're definitely going to need. We're going to have to go mining. We need some andesite. We need some other pieces, parts to get started with Create. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but let's just take a quick look and go up here and see. Oh, this is kind of like an island. Let's walk over this way just to explore a little bit of our map. Then we'll look at it on the big map. Let's see. Let me see. So this is where we're at right there. Yeah, I think this is going to work. We have one connection to the mainland, but this is kind of like a big island. This is literally what I was hoping for my base area. I just want to walk over here a little bit and just see what's on the edge over here. Okay, it does end. We've got tons of sand. We can do a couple different build styles over here. But I kind of like the way that this central green area is raised, and we've essentially got beach all around us. There's also another little place over there. We've got plenty of what's that stuff called? Kelp. Yeah, I'm professional. There's plenty of kelp over there which we can use for stuff. I think this is perfect. Okay, so we're gonna set up camp here, I think, probably on this little grass section. Maybe we can actually run over here since this is a little bit higher. We can start our base camp right here on this little grass area, and gives us access to some cobblestone, which we'll start mining right now. Let's just take a look at our quests because we're going to go mining and we're going to start gathering all the resources that we need in early game. So we want to be cognizant of things that we should look for from a mining perspective. So the first quest is to get 32 andesite. Let's get that. We'll make sure we get that as we're mining. We won't just leave that in the mines. And then we're also going to need some iron ingots and some zinc ingots. Okay, so let's make sure while we're mining that we're gathering all of those resources. Any more iron that we get, any more zinc that we can get, any other resources are just going to be bonus at this point. But let's really focus on those two. And then we'll see if we can't start actually getting into the Create mod. We're definitely going to be doing that from episode 1. This is not going to be a big, long delay in getting into Create. We're going to try to get some simple setups going today if we possibly can. We also need to have a place to live. Man, I'm so excited. All right, I'll see you in just a second. So I just got my tools created, and I guess I messed around with the intro and talking to you guys for a little bit too long. I just noticed that it's pitch black dark outside, and we don't have a way to sleep through the night. But I did notice on the old mini map when we were looking, there's some sheep over here. There's also a chicken. Let's go over here and see if we can't get a little bit of wool, and we're going to make a bed ASAP so we can at least sleep through the night in our brand new world. Okay, there's a creeper. Let's not get destroyed by him. Is that a cave right there? That's cool. All right, so now we have the stuff that we need to make a bed. There are witches and all kinds of stuff up there on that hill. That is not going to be good for us. Is stuff following us still? All right, let's make... Oh, I have my crafting bench. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can't make really quick without getting killed. Hello, chicken. I'll be visiting with you later. Okay, so we're going to make a bed really quick. And then hopefully we can sleep in it. That's a chicken coming up over the hill. Can we sleep in this? Okay, perfect. Okay, we're going to make it through our first night in the world without getting killed. We are in hard mode, as is what we normally play in. That's kind of how we like to play this Minecraft game. We also, killing those sheep also gave us a little bit of food. I think we're going to have to farm up a couple of these chickens and get a little bit more food. Maybe we can go back down here now that it's daytime. I don't know if we really need any creeper, any gunpowder, anything, but we have some now. Let's take him out and get a little bit more mutton. I'm going to take a quick peek in here. This is just a dead end. Okay. Okay, there's some pigs over there. I think maybe we should try to cook some food. Here, we'll use that to start with. We'll cook some chicken. I'm going to take out some of those pigs. There's pigs all over the place. All right, let me do some of that. I want to get some food. I'm going to get some things. We need to hit the mines. We haven't even done any of that yet. It's just been a few minutes since our first clip. Let me do that, and I'll see you in just a second. I'm down here in the mines. I've got a good bit of iron already. We have some other resources. We just really started mining. I've got to make a iron pick so I can get my zinc resources. There's some right there. That's what it looks like. But I've been finding some azurine, and I really want to have it. There's also some calcite here. I don't believe this is a regular geode. I think it has something to do with calcite and azurine showing up together. But I just wanted to show you that we do have some of the create blocks in the mod pack, and they are just spread out in the caves. So feel free to use those from a building perspective. We're going to be using them guaranteed. Okay, back to work. Well, that didn't take long. I have just encountered my first death. We've got journey map in here, so we have a death waypoint that we could go and see if we can't find our stuff. We also have an obituary, which tells us where we actually died and all of our contents. Of course, we were taking care of business, mining it up, and now we're just trying to get a couple resources. Dead again. So I just wanted to talk about the gravestone mod. We should be able to go back down here. This piece of paper will lead us all the way down. And if it takes us, if we go all the way back through here, let's see, where was my dead body? Where's my, it's that way, okay. Okay, it's not that way, I guess. It must be around here. Yes. I found my first skeleton down here in the mines. Okay, we're only 18 blocks away. We should be able to find it really quickly. Oh, he's still in there. Okay, the skeleton. Ouch. Okay, this could be a problem. Oh, please don't die again. Oh, I'm dead again. Dang it. Okay, well, do I have anything that I can make a weapon out of? No. I mean, I punched him a couple times. Do you think we should try to go punch him one more time? Oh, man. Follow me for more pro Minecraft strats. That's for sure. I guess speaking of that, if you haven't subscribed yet, and you feel like this content is something you're going to enjoy watching, please hit the subscribe button, click on the bell, the notification bell, all of that stuff, and you too can be notified whenever I upload videos of me being super good at playing this Minecraft game. Let's get back down here together. Okay, so we know how to go this time. Okay, so can we go around the corner? All right, we jump across here, we go up here, we go around here, and skeleton's still there, okay, but sir, please. I'm getting owned up by a single skeleton. Okay, this isn't going to work. I am going to have to keep fighting him. After, I don't know, about an hour of mining, we did pretty good. We have almost a stack of iron, which is definitely what we're going to need. And then we need some zinc as well. We have 38 of those. We're doing pretty good. We've knocked out 2 quests. We have, of course, got all of our andesite. We're going to go ahead and collect our reward, which is more andesite. Trust me, we're going to need that. Then we've got our Isn't It Ironic quest, where we got 8 iron ingot and 8 zinc ingots. We're going to get 8 iron nuggets, 8 zinc nuggets, and a random piece of armor, which is, I don't know, what did we end up getting? We got pants. I will put those on literally right this second. Okay, so the reason why that quest was kind of a scam, because our quest was to get iron and zinc, and all we got was nuggets. I want to show you how to make essentially one of the most important things that we're going to be making in at least this initial part of the create mod. We're going to be doing it a lot as we go through this whole thing. It is andesite alloy. Now, I'm probably going to mess up how you say that. I have trouble with it. I made the quest called alloy or alloy there, matey. We have to make 8 andesite alloy, and then we're going to get 8 as a quest reward. So let me show you. If you don't know, this on the right-hand side is called JEI, stands for just enough items, and we can search for different things that we want to make. If we find that in here, andesite alloy, we can see that we make it by using 2 pieces of andesite and either 2 iron nuggets or 2 zinc nuggets. So let's go ahead and make that really quick. Where's my andesite? So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll use zinc here, and we're going to get 4 andesite alloy, and then we'll do the exact same thing with our iron nuggets that we got as our quest reward, and we're going to get 8 more. Okay, or 4 more. So then we can complete this quest. We're going to get a bunch of extra as a bonus. So now we've got that done. And next up, we need to make andesite casings. Now, andesite casings are something that we'll also be making a lot of, and they have a very interesting crafting mechanic. Let me show you. So we put down 1, 2, 3, 4 of our spruce logs here. We get our axe out, and we're going to strip those just like that. And then we're going to take our andesite alloy, and we're going to right-click, and that is going to create our casings. Cool thing about casings is they can be broken with either an axe or a pickaxe, which is pretty handy. All right, let's take a look here. We've completed this quest. We're going to get 4 andesite casings as that reward. Okay, so we've almost got to the point where we've certainly covered the basics. We've got andesite alloy, we've got casings, and now we need to make the next, I guess, item in the list, which is a shaft. Now, shafts are made by taking 2 andesite alloy and going like that, right on top of each other. We get 8 shafts. That also will complete the shafts quest, which is right there, and we're going to get a couple more andesite alloy, and then we're going to get a little bit of a food reward as well. Now, our quest chain kind of breaks here, and the next thing on our list is a hand crank. Let's take a look and see how we make that, and then we'll make one of those as well. Hand crank is made by a couple planks and some alloy right there. That's pretty simple. Okay. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 like so, and now we have a hand crank. Okay, perfect. That should be able to complete this quest. Again, these initial quests are very basic. So if you're like a create expert, you're blowing through these things super fast. We're going to get a sapling reward. We got jungle saplings, which is pretty sweet. And another piece of armor. Hopefully we got something decent. We got a shield. Oh, I'll use that. Could have used that against that crazy skeleton. Okay, let's move a little bit further down the quest chain, because stick with me here. It feels like we're knocking down a bunch of quests, but I think it's important that we do this. Next up is something called a depot. We're going to make one of those. Essentially, this holds things for us in the create mod. I'll show you how this works in just a second. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves a depot. We need an andesite alloy and an andesite casing. We can make one of those really quick. And we can put that thing down on the ground like this. Now, this thing will hold an item, and it holds it like stationary for us. We can pick it back up. It'll hold like a shaft, or in that case, that was pork chops. It'll also hold shaft. Anything that we want to put on there, it'll kind of sit on there. And while it's sitting on there, interestingly enough, it will not despawn. So that's pretty sweet. So let's complete this quest as well. We're going to get another armor reward. We got more pants. Not cool. And we're going to get some golden carrots. For that, now we're getting a little bit of extra food to eat. We have this pair of pants that we currently cannot wear. Okay, so I don't want you guys to think that we're hammering through quests, but we sort of are just flying through these easy quests for a reason, because I really want you to see how we can make our first sort of contraption this early in the create mod. So the next thing we need to make is a mechanical press, because mechanical presses squish things. It presses things. And we're going to want to make some something called iron plates, which you'll see in just a second. But to make those, we need our mechanical press. So we need to make that. Let's take a look and see if we can understand in JEI how to make mechanical press. To make that, we just need a shaft, which we've made, a casing, which we've made, and a block of iron. Okay. So if we haven't gotten our iron yet, we're going to have to go hit the mines again, but we happen to have all that we need there. And then we can just put this recipe together, a shaft, a block of iron down here, and an andesite casing. And now we have our mechanical press. Okay, so we had just made our depot. Let's take 2 blocks and stack up. Let's actually take 3 blocks and stack up just like that. And then we're going to put our mechanical press right there. So there's a 1 block air gap. It's 1 plus a little bit above that depot. And then we can break these blocks. Okay, there we go. Now, if you haven't figured out the create mod yet, create uses rotational force. Let's pick up that. Doesn't need to, hey, give me that back, guy. Create uses rotational momentum or force to drive all of its machine. You can see that there's what looks like a shaft that's connected in there. So by applying rotational force to items or to contraptions, we can make them move, which is pretty awesome. So we happen to have this handy hand crank, and we can right-click right on the side of this thing. We've applied our hand crank to our mechanical press. We've got the depot under. And now if we say, let's put down 1, 2, 3 of these guys like so. We'll lay those on the depot, 3 iron ingots. And then if we right-click, we see that our press goes down. And you can see there on the screen that it is pressing that iron. And when there's no more things to do, it'll stop, and then we can pick these up, and all of a sudden we now have iron sheets, which is pretty awesome. There's lots of, well, it's not lots, there's a couple of these initial gadgets that'll allow you to just use a hand crank to make them work. Down the road, that's not going to be enough rotational power to make these things work. We're going to have to build other contraptions to do that. And we're going to walk through how to do that as well. So let's complete our mechanical press. We're going to get some more food, which is pretty sweet. And now we have a choice. We can make the create wrench, which we're not quite ready because I believe it takes gold, and I don't think we found any gold. Let's just take a look at the recipe for the wrench. Wrench right there. And yes, it does take gold. It also takes cogwheels, which we'll learn how to create in just a second. So before we do that, let's make a little bit of progress in our quest this way, and we want to make a mechanical saw. So let's take a look and see mechanical saw. So it's an andesite casing, that's an iron ingot, and it's a couple iron sheets. So let's go ahead and do that. So 1, 2, 3, right there, and then one of these. And now we have ourselves a mechanical saw. Now, this is going to be a contraption that we're going to use a lot, especially in the early game, probably even longer than the early game, because we can use a mechanical saw to chop down trees. We also, once we turn in this quest reward, the quest reward gives us a second mechanical saw and another piece of random gear. We got a helmet. That's pretty sweet. We can put that on our head. We're feeling better about ourselves already. The reason why I made it so we get 2 mechanical saws is I wanted to drive home the point that saws can be used for multiple things. So if we right click here and put the saw down this way, we see that it's going to work very similar to how the stonecutter works. We can give this thing rotational power. We can pass items into the saw and it will cut them. So for example, we can use, let's take a look. I'll show you. So if we take a look at andesite alloy and we look and see what we can do with the saw, like if we can run, no, not stone cutting, sorry, block cutting. We can run andesite alloy across the saw, and it can make things like grab bars, andesite steps. We can make andesite scaffolding. We can make ladders, all from just running items across the saw. We also can turn, and that's if we saw andesite with the saw blade horizontal. So there's 2 ways that this saw could be set up. There's, no, not like that. Here, let me sleep through the night really quick. We're doing lots of talking. We're supposed to be doing work, but we got to sort of go through these things. It's episode 1. We got to get the basics of Create taken care of. So we can also take our andesites or our mechanical saw, and we can place it like this. So whenever we look at these recipes for what we can do with these different devices, we see we can do block cutting with the saw on its side, and we can do all of these things like that. We can make all of these things by running them through. Or we can put the saw on its back like we have right here, and we can make shafts cheaper. So 8 shafts from 1 piece of andesite alloy. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to use the saw to maybe saw down trees. So let's run over here. I'm going to show you how awesome this is, and you are going to be instantly on board with Create. This will be our first official gadget, and trust me, we will be using it a lot as we sort of go through this mod pack. So let's go find ourselves a tree, and I'll show you how this thing works. So we got some sheep over here. That's actually pretty handy. We're going to use those later. We're going to need to get a sheep farm. We're going to need wool. We'll figure out a cool way to do that. All right, so if we want to put this saw down so it faces the tree, so if you right click, it's going to be faced like that. Let's go ahead and break this, and I'll show you how to face it the way we want to. So if we shift when we place it, it'll place the saw away from us, which is exactly what we want, and then we can apply our hand crank to the back. Now watch this tree, right? So if we start providing some rotational force, it's going to chop that entire tree down in one shot. And it's awesome. It'll chop down any size tree. Hello, get out of here. And then all we have to do is just move our equipment. Let's see, let's get it in our inventory like we want it to be. There we go. And we're like, oh, okay, that was pretty easy. Let's find, is there like one of those giant trees? Like right here? Yeah, like this guy. Okay. So remember, if we shift right click, we can face it away from us. We put our hand crank on here. We turn this thing. and boom, it just chopped down that entire tree, and it kind of like fells it, like everything kind of goes forward. How cool and amazing is that? Oh, I love it. I'm gonna spend some time clearing a bunch of trees. I want to get a bunch of wood because we're gonna need it to build ourselves a little starter house. Let me see if there's any other quests that we need to worry about. Not right now, I don't think. We need to get ourselves a place to live. We need to get a couple pieces of infrastructure fired up. We might even need to go do a little bit more mining to find some gold. We're definitely going to need gold in the future. So I'm going to work on all of those things. But what I did find down in the mines is a little bit of gold, and I think that means we can make a wrench. The wrench for Create is something that we're going to be using from today on until we're done with this pack, for sure. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the recipe for a wrench, and we'll see if we can't put together all of the stuff to make it. Let's see. So we need a cogwheel, which we haven't necessarily made yet, but we're going to talk about it anyway, and then a couple golden sheets. So that should be pretty easy. Let's get 1, 2, 3 of our pieces of gold. I saw some more gold down there too. All right, so we've got now our gold sheets. We're gonna have to make a small cogwheel, which if I remember correctly, is literally a shaft and a plank. Let's see, do we have some shafts? We do. Okay, so if we take a shaft, we can just do it in our inventory. We'll get a small cogwheel just like that. Perfect. Let's see, what do we need? We need a stick. Do we have all those pieces parts? We do. There we go. So there's a wrench. Now, let me tell you what's cool about this wrench. So anytime that we have a create block or series of blocks, whatever we want to do, and we want to break those, if we shift and right click, we actually can break that stuff instantly, and it goes right into our inventory, which is key. It also does some, if we take a look at the saw, for example, I think we can rotate our saw with this thing. Yeah. So if you click on a face, it wants to rotate it on that face. I have been down in the mines, mining all kinds of stuff. I've been out in the woods, chopping down trees. I've been here at my base growing spruce trees, using create mechanisms to chop all that stuff down, and it has been going great. The only problem that we had, I was just down in the mines grabbing some of that azurite stuff, and I got killed by a skeleton. But I wanted to show you something that if I'd had, I would have used it immediately and got myself out of danger, and I'm going to show you how it works. So there's a command in the mod pack called set home, right? So we type in set home. Now we have set our home right here to that block. And now if we run off into the distance because we want to do a little bit of an exploration mission, or we want to just look around at our base area, or maybe we want to find some yellow flowers or whatever we might want to do. And after we've collected all of that stuff, we may be just too lazy to walk back home. So what we can do instead is do the /home command, and that immediately takes us back home where we had set our location. It is time now for us to clean up our mess around here. It's getting to be dark. We're going to sleep through the night, and I'm going to work on building ourselves a starter house. Have you ever just started a project and then you just keep messing with it and messing with it and messing with it, and before you know it, like hours and hours and hours have gone by, and you end up with something that looks like this? Now, this isn't the greatest house in the history of the world. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a patchwork quilt kind of situation, but I love it. I think it looks really good. And for a starter house in our brand new Create mod world, I think this thing is going to be absolutely perfect. Let me just show you really quick what we've got going on here. We've got a balcony. I love that. I've got a little bit of a side porch over here, like a side area. We've got some smoker and smithing table and a little bit of extra storage. But if we go inside, it's kind of weird because the side of the house, of course it's raining, the side of the house is where the entrance is. We go inside here. Down here is where all my storage is going to be. We have a little bit of storage moved in. Not all of it yet. We need to work on that some more. And then upstairs is sort of where our living area is. We've got this awesome balcony that we can go out and look at the rain and the ocean right there, the water. I love that. Look at all that kelp. We're going to be needing that for sure. We're going to do a little bit more decoration work here in the top in this floor, and then we're going to go up one more time, and we're going to have like a little bit of a workshop area up here. And I think this is just going to be perfect. I think this is exactly what we need to start this series in our brand new one man, one mod Create world. Man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've had such a good time just playing around with all the different block types. I wanted to show you really quick. We've got a couple mods in here that give us some extra block types. So the first one is chiseled. We have chisel mod or re-chiseled mod right there. So you make the chisel this way and you actually use the chisel. Let me show you. Use the chisel. You right click in the air with the chisel and you can put your blocks in there like that. And here are all the different variants that you can use, like different types of blocks you can make just from chiseling them. It works awesome. You can see what they look like in a 3x3, what they look like in a row. Any of them that have connected textures, you can see what those look like as well. Pretty handy little mod. You guys could definitely mess around with that, which will be a lot of fun. We also added chipped to the mod pack. Whoops, how about this? Like this. Here, there we go. Added chipped, which gives us a whole bunch of extra block variants. I know that the builders among us will be super excited to be able to mess around with all of these things. It gives us tons and tons and tons of ways to do decoration. Not everyone's a builder, and I'm certainly not. I'm just kind of doing the best I can, but I know a lot of people in the community pride themselves as being able to build, so we wanted to make sure that we gave lots of options for people to build with. Can I sleep through this night? Yep. Get rid of this rain. So we've got those two mods. There's some other ones. There's create interiors that we can do. Interior. Let's see. At create. Yeah. So we have create interiors as well. I don't know how to find it, but it makes us able to get things like chairs and stuff like that, right? So create interiors. So we get floor chairs. We could get all kinds of fun stuff there that you can make with Create Interiors. That'll help us with some of our interior decorating, give us a place to sit down. That's pretty cool. And then last but not least, we have frame blocks. I think this is pretty important. You can see that I've used it a good bit right here. That is a framed wall board that I've used a spruce texture on. That's a button that I've used this azurite, same with these fences, things like that. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey for us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please think about doing that if you think you'd like to see more of this content. I am super excited, like super excited. There's a link in the description box down below if you want to know more about becoming a patron, or if you want to find the mod pack and download it and play along. That's awesome. You can certainly do that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you can even know. Until next time, please remember to be cool, don't be a fool, and from my one man, one mod, learning all about Create series, I guess we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.